Showbiz and Leigh Drew on 97.7 FM.
And our very first guest this afternoon is online waiting for us. My first guest, husband and wife team. They're entertainers, often described as clowns, silent clowns. You'll hear why as we go on with the interview. Christina Gelson and Seth Bloom are in Melbourne to bring us Airplay. It's a play about and with balloons, magic, umbrellas, kites, but no words. It's on from the 18th of January. To tell us more about that, I think we've got Seth on the line right now. Seth, welcome in.
Hey, my wife's here too, Christina.
Hello, Christina. How are you?
We're great. We just flew in from a snowstorm in New York City, so we are so happy to be in Melbourne.
Already got our sunburn on and everything.
You got the sunburn already, have you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How do you like the humidity today, though?
It's great. Anything's better than 2 feet of snow.
I would love the snow, but of course, I'd love it only for a oncer. And you guys have got to put up with it all the time, don't you?
That's right. We even have a bit of an Airplay at the end of our show. That's made out of...
I saw that in the release. Yeah, you got snow that comes in too. You've both got an interesting story here because you met in Afghanistan. Tell me about Afghanistan first.
Oh, man. Well, I was performing with a company that performed in orphanages and refugee camps.
Mm.
And
I was there to build up a circus project for kids, kind of a social circus project to help kids use circus to grow up and become better citizens.
Well, Seth, how did that come about? Why would you look at Afghanistan?
I got this email from this crazy Afghan Danish guy who said, hey, I don't know much about circus. I want to start a circus for kids. Can you come help me build up a circus there?
Yeah.
I got this email and I wrote him back and I said, sure, let's figure out how to do this.
the circus is still running. It's now performed for over 3 million people in Afghanistan.
That's huge, isn't it?
That's incredible. They've toured all over the country, and besides doing circus, they use comedy and clowning to do education around landmine awareness and malaria prevention.
Well, that's the sort of thing you guys do too, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it does cross over because we're performing without words, which is what we've continued to do around the world. We can go anywhere. We can eat anything. So we prefer to perform without words.
Now, without words, let me take you to Scotland for a moment, because this is where you became engaged. Of course, you met in Afghanistan, you got engaged in Scotland. Now, how did you two, Seth, how did you propose when you weren't saying anything?
Well, that should be a secret.
It was all in the look.
Oh, the look, was it? Well, Christina, how did you say yes?
Well, actually, when I proposed to Christina, true story, we were living in a circus trailer. So it just makes the story even better.
Go on. I don't suppose there was any elephants or monkeys around?
Not there.
Well, of course, that was the engagement, but then you went across and got married in China. You guys are multicultural.
The best part about touring and performing without words, like our show here, Airplay, is that we can work anywhere in the world.
Oh, goodness.
And that's our favorite thing to do, is travel around, meet people everywhere, make people laugh, move people, have a good time.
Christina, allow my audience to laugh. Tell them what you were wearing as a wedding dress.
I was wearing a dress made out of, no joke, balloons.
White balloons, I believe.
Little, tiny, thin balloons. And when they first told me I was going to be wearing a balloon dress for my wedding, I was imagining, say, quote, a poodle skirt, sort of tongue-in-cheek, an idea of a dress, but not really one. But it turned out to be beautiful.
Did it really?
It was amazing. I mean, I couldn't sit in it, but it was amazing.
So you quickly got changed after the ceremony, did you?
Oh, yeah. Otherwise, that balloon dress is going to pop and fly away.
You guys are so funny. I can't wait to see your show. It'll be really, really good. Seth, how did you get started in the States? Obviously, you had some background here. You were a street performer at one stage, weren't you?
I was a juggler, and then I toured actually all throughout the U.S., juggling and doing comedy.
Yeah.
Christina and I met in Afghanistan. We said, hey, we want to work in street theater, and that's why we went to Edinburgh.
Okay.
That's part about doing street theater is you can rock up anywhere in the world, and start a show out of nothing.
Yeah. So what was your training to do all of this? Was that a natural ability that you found you had, and Christina yourself too?
This is serious. I went to 3 different clown schools around the world.
Right.
Christina.
And I went to Princeton.
Yes. Well, you were a ballerina, weren't you?
I was a ballet dancer, and then I went to university.
Yeah. So what happened?
Because of ballet, I was comfortable performing on stage without words.
Well, there you are. You're acting, aren't you? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So that was your start, 3 different areas of training to be a clown. How hard is it to be a clown then, Seth?
Well, it's not easy. Some people say you have to be born to be a clown, but what I found is just hard work. I wasn't very funny when I began, but if you come out to Airplay and see us at the Arts Center, you'll see that we became very funny. But it took many, many years. And honestly, I'm much funnier when I'm working with my wife, Christina.
How was that?
I don't know, somehow she just brings out the funny in me.
So you're able to bounce off one another?
Yes.
Yeah, we actually have these giant balloons that we climb inside and literally bounce off each other on stage.
Well, tell us about Airplay, because I've seen the balloons, I've seen the kites and so on. What's it all about?
Well, we were working with an air sculptor. It's a ring of fans, and the sculptures fly up so high that they actually have to raise the theater lights because our props hit the lights up on top. So every theater has to adjust for the size of the sculptures that are flying in the air.
We use fans to blow big pieces of fabric, silks, way over the heads of the audience, to blow a big white piece of giant silk 60 feet in the air, or 15 meters.
Yeah.
There are balloons that fly everywhere. We make an entire snowstorm out of packing peanuts, the stuff that might come in a box from Amazon.
And we get eaten by balloons.
You get eaten by balloons. I read somewhere that you got an umbrella that flies over the audience.
Yes, we have a balloon that flies over the audience and a massive piece of silk.
Do you really?
Oh, it's just beautiful. I love when the kids look up and they see this magical fabric flying over their head, and you just feel like you're part of the show. Oh, it's just beautiful.
Very much a Mary Poppins feel, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's a great show for the whole families. We've done the show all over the world. We love ages 5 to 105.
Yeah.
People come out. Adults come without their kids, have a great time. The whole families come. This summer we were in England at the Royal Festival Hall. That was excellent. Now we're here.
Seth and Christina, this is what, your 5th production, isn't it? You've written 5?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is behind writing these and getting the inspiration?
So the inspiration for Airplay was this. We wanted to take our clowning and merge it with a high form of art, a sculptural artist.
Right.
We saw this guy who lived in New York who made
Yep.
these beautiful sculptures using air. And we said to him, we want to collaborate and see if we can merge these two art forms. No one had done it before. And it took 4 or 5 years. We'd go into the studio and just bang our heads against the wall with props, balloons, umbrellas, soccer balls, anything you can imagine we would muck about with. And slowly we found an interesting story and interesting acts.
And that's how it came about.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's kind of like an inventors.
Now,
Instead of making electricity or inventing a new app, we invented new ways to work with technology and bring air to life.
Now, guys, you don't utter a word on stage. Is there music that goes with this?
Oh, well, hence the pun, Airplay. But no, this is a radio guy.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of music from around the world. We have
Fantastic.
Balkan punk rock music and Nordic boys choirs and
Italian
Appalachian
avant-garde.
Yeah, and Appalachian music, and it's an airplay of radio music from around the world.
Isn't that wonderful? And the kids and the adults there, what are the expressions on their faces?
We had this beautiful note. Someone said she came to the show and she loved seeing this grandmother and her granddaughter sitting next to each other, both of them completely entranced, jaws dropped. And then next to them was the grandfather with tears coming down his eyes. It was so beautiful and so fun at the same time that she said she'll remember the look of the audience's faces for the rest of her life.
That's lovely. Look, I'm dying to see it. Well, come along and see this because it sounds fascinating. I'm absolutely fascinated by the whole concept and not talking. Does anything ever go wrong with your balloons on stage?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It goes wrong all the time. It's our job as clowns to make it look like it was meant to happen.
Oh, so you ad-lib and you get around that, do you?
Absolutely.
The first time we tried this act with the balloon that goes over the audience, the audience creates heat from their bodies.
Yes.
And the balloon went up and didn't come back down.
Go on.
Oh. It was a problem.
Wow. Imagine cleaning that theatre up afterwards and trying to get that down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look, you're at the Arts Centre here in Melbourne. You're opening on the 18th and going through to the 22nd, so that's next week, the 18th.
That's it.
And the booking phone number is 1300 182 183. Now, it's not expensive for the tickets. They're very reasonable. 1300 182 183. Guys, I wish you all the best in Melbourne. I know you've got some friends here you're going to pop it and see too. I was reading about that. So I do wish you well and all the best for a fantastic tour.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Okay, take care.
Cheers.
Okay, bye-bye to you. We're talking there about Airplay. Keep it in mind, great for the kids, for the whole of the family. Take them along. 1300 182 183.